I have always felt that a building principal in a small town, the superintendent, school board, staff of a school should help establish that this is a good community of decent, upright people, and that crowd control is part of the responsibility when you have athletic events. Way back in that very first superintendency at Hartner, Kansas, I had asked the school board for permission to bar a father, a fan, from attending games because he was so rude and crude in the way he treated visiting officials and teams. Their solution to that was to agree I could bar him if necessary, and from then on, as he came into the gym or came to the baseball field, etc., a board member just happened to join him and help him keep from getting too rude or crude. Good solution. I was happy with that. I think everybody else was. I don't know about the board members being happy. They might have felt like I drafted them unintentionally into an onerous task. But anyway, Evergreen. That first year, maybe it was more than a year, but at least the first year, all the high school basketball, wrestling took place in our gym because they hadn't built a gym yet up at the high school site. Basketball season's well underway. Don and I are sitting up in the balcony. Game's close. Officials maybe weren't doing a good job. I don't really remember. But I do know this, that the game was close. And at the end of the game, I don't know who won. I think maybe Evergreen may have lost by a point or two. But at the end of the game, the floor is clearing, the crowd's beginning to move. We're just going to sit and wait and let the crowd clear a little. I'm looking down there, and this father goes down on the floor, walks right up to the official that's just now moving to go get showered and leave. I didn't see him say anything. He just walked up in front of him and wham! Knocked him flat to the floor. Well, of course, school officials ran out there and other people to see to it that the man was not further attacked. And I don't know what, if anything, was done from the high school's administration point of view. But I certainly know who did it, and it stuck in my mind that, ooh. Well, the years go by, fast forward, and we're at Bear Creek Junior High. Evergreen Junior High is playing the Bear Creek area junior high at the high school field. And that same gentleman's daughter now is one of our young ladies, a very fine young woman. They were a good family. But he's over there across the field from me. But oh man, is he harassing those football officials and making a real, well, anyway, he wasn't making a very good impression. And he certainly wasn't making a very good impression for us as Evergreen community. And I happened to be watching pretty closely and realized, wait a minute, that principal's talking to a police officer and they're obviously talking about that fellow. So at halftime, I went over and told him, you know, I saw what you were concerned about, and I just want you to know that a few years ago, I just told him what I'd seen happen. And do you know, by the time the halftime was over, I happened to notice that police officer went over and had a little conversation with that fellow, and there was no more harassment of the official during the second half. So felt much better about it. Now, I don't remember who won. I think maybe Bear Creek did. But at least it was conducted as a sports event. And with sportsmanship attitudes, pretty much in evidence the second half from both Evergreen and the Bear Creek School. You know, when the dad gets out of line, and I've gotten out of line a few times where I embarrassed my kids, I hope our young lady was not embarrassed. She was a fine young woman. And I know she loved her dad, and her dad loved her, and he, just like I am at times, he got a little bit too carried away and forgot himself.